Hello everybody, Jim Arroyo here, president of the Yavapai County Preparedness Team and the leader of the Oath Keepers of Yavapai County. Welcome back to our next video. This video is going to be on what we call the parallel economy. And you're hearing this talked about all over the place. This goes back to during the communist revolutions in Europe. One of the Romanian leaders was involved in this and basically told the communists to go take a flying leap, that we're going to run our own economy. It'll be a parallel one. It'll run in tandem. There's a lot more to it. I don't want to get into all of the history. It's good to go online and look at that. But you're hearing guys like Dan Bongino on his radio show. He actually has a website called paralleleconomy.com. You might want to go there and take a look. But a lot of people don't really understand what that is. Our economy is a dollar-denominated, asset-based economy. Everything is on the US dollar. What we're concerned about is the complete and total economic collapse of the United States, which means the dollar will go to zero. In our last video, we talked about what the Chinese are doing, dumping treasuries. The Japanese is now the largest holder of US treasuries. They're dumping them. And we've always talked about that. When these countries that hold our debt decide to sell it off and get rid of it, that's the end of the dollar. And it's going to start to go down. It is going to collapse. Here's a little piece of history. We are a fiat currency. What that means is that currency is no longer backed by gold. That is backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. Anybody that has faith in the whole system of this government right now is a fool. But here's the deal. Every single fiat currency, and there have been thousands of them in history, have all failed. The only thing that's been able to sustain itself is those countries that stuck with a gold standard, or when at the time gold and silver was all they had. So fiat currencies, no bueno, okay? Everyone needs to think about the possibility and the probability of this collapse coming and what that means. You can look at what happened in Greece when their economy tanked. They just moved on with outdoor markets and they started bartering and trading with anything they had, and they didn't lose a step, okay? This is what has to happen here. The US dollar will end as a fiat currency very soon. We are literally could be weeks away. We could be a couple of months. It is all predicated on what the Chinese and the Japanese and other countries that hold our debt, if they all decide to massively liquidate that stuff quickly, that's it. It tanks the dollar and it's game over. All right? It'll make the stock market crash of 1929 look like child's play. And that's what we're headed for, is a full collapse. Stock market crash. We're going to lose the value of the US dollar, and people are going to start trading for gold and silver and ammunition and storable food. It's going to be a complete different world out there. But that's what has to happen. A lot of discussion of a CBDC and a Chinese social credit score. We've been discussing this in our meetings for months. It's out there. The governments are preparing to do it. Latest information I got was out of the G20 summit. The United States and 19 other jackass countries out there have all decided that there needs to be a central bank digital currency and there needs to be a social credit score. What a Chinese social credit system is, and Klaus Schwab of the WEF talked about this and said, use that as the pattern. Everybody should do what China did. And what a social credit score does is it basically locks up all your money. It's digital. You do everything with a cell phone and a QR code. And if you say or do something that the government doesn't like, they monitor everything. And they start to reduce your social credit score. And then they get to the point where they start to fine you. Oh, you said something bad about Xi Jinping? We're going to take $100 out of your account. You say something bad again? We'll take $500. Say it a third time, we shut you down and you're out of business. You can't do anything. And this is going on all over. England just said, we don't want a central bank digital currency. They started to look into it, and boy, people went bananas. So you know what they did? They started destroying all the cameras in London. They would go out and destroy every one of them. So England got the message real quick that the people aren't going to put up with it. The young people, they love having a cell phone, and they love being able to do everything with that computer. But when someone else controls that computer, you're at their mercy from then on. And that is not what this country is all about. A social credit score will cause you to lose all freedom. They will have full control over everything. How much you can earn, what you can spend. You can't buy a 2-week supply of groceries. You can only spend your money on a 2 days supply of groceries. You can't go out and buy guns. You're not going to be able to buy ammunition. They'll cut all that off. Tobacco, oh yeah, forget it. They're not going to allow you to spend your money on that. They will have full say, not only in how much money you can have, but what you're allowed to spend it on. You doubt this? Go and do the research. It's all over the internet. You can see what a social credit system is, and it is not a good idea. So we must not accept this system under any conditions. The way my wife puts it when she's lecturing people is, don't need them. Don't need their system. We can develop our own economic system to where no matter what the government comes up with, we're going to do something different. And it's perfectly legitimate. And if it gets to the point where they start to crack down hard and consider you a political prisoner at that point, we'll be fighting already. Now we go into the second Civil War scenario. Second Civil War and World War III, I've always said, are probably going to happen simultaneously. We're at the brink of both to go full kinetic. That means we're going to start shooting at each other. So hang on for the ride. So what do we do about it? Okay, as always, we don't put out doom and gloom. We put out actionable intelligence. Now I'm going to give you the actionable portion of the show. And this is important. The Yavapai County Preparedness Team has its own time exchange. It's a time bank. If you don't know what that is, go on the internet, plug in Time Bank, and you'll see tons of videos of what they are and how they work. It is basically a way of exchanging goods and services for time. In other words, I need a plumber to come to my house. He can earn time hours, and those can be used somewhere else from someone else. It's not necessarily a direct exchange, and he may need something done on his car, or he may need landscaping done. And it's a way of doing business with each other, getting things accomplished without exchanging any kind of currency, credit cards, even gold or silver. It's all done on time. Now, we also have a goods and services section on our website to where we can do business with one another, and then the two parties that are conducting the transaction can decide amongst themselves how they want to do it. You can go ahead right now while cash is still good, trade for cash. You can pay with a check. You can use gold and silver to barter with. Any number of options. So the idea is to have a form or a system of transaction that doesn't require using a bank. And that's what a time exchange is all about. So we highly recommend go on the website. There's information there. If you have questions, you can always contact Janet on the phone number. Next thing, establish barter systems now. Like I said, in Greece, you know, when they had their problem, they didn't lose a step. They set up open air markets. They were trading with each other and conducting business. So if you have a skill set, you have something that you produce, even if it's animals, if you produce a product, you can trade with that. That's currency. You don't need to have a dollar to go and do something. The people will figure this out. This is how it was done for thousands of years around the world. We've just gotten away from all of that because we're lazy and people want to get their cell phone out and start punching buttons and scan a QR code and get a hamburger from a McDonald's that doesn't even have people working in it anymore. So don't do that. Get a system set up, work with your people in your community. Okay, so how do we use gold and silver in the near future and now? There's a lot of controversy over this and, you know, how are you going to do it? Well, if I got a 1 ounce gold coin that costs $2,200 and I want to buy a hamburger, well, obviously you're not going to use a gold coin for that. Use your brain. Think it through. Gold can be exchanged for silver in smaller denominations, and then that silver can be used to purchase whatever item it is you're looking for. So some businesses have already started taking precious metals for goods and services. So what we recommend is what's called pre-1965 constitutional silver. Some refer to it as dirty silver, some call it junk silver. I hate that term because there's nothing junk about it. If you're a stacker or you're into precious metals, you know the premiums on pre-65 stuff can be pretty high. But it's very beneficial because it's actual money. It is real money. It's what they call God's money because it's 90% silver. So pre-1965, anything dated 64 or earlier is 90% silver, and then there's other coins in there in certain dates in like a $50 that are a different amount of silver. We're not going to get into that. Stick with the pre-65 stuff, you'll do fine. And that's what's going to be used. There are places already in this country where farmers markets are accepting silver for produce, okay? Somebody asked me the other day, how do we go about coordinating with the farmers? Well, I said, we've already put this out. So this is what I'm going to tell you. If you have farmers markets in your area that produce vegetables or provide chickens, or they've got a cattle rancher there who provides beef, go and talk to them. Start laying the groundwork now and establishing a rapport. I will guarantee you, if you tell them what's going to happen when the dollar collapses, will you guys be willing to accept silver or gold for your products? I guarantee you they're all going to say absolutely. And already this is happening. There are places right now where businesses are accepting this. Our gun shop right now, Dave said, yeah, we're taking gold and silver for guns and ammunition. He's actually even got the little machine that checks them, it weighs them, it makes sure that it's not a phony, because there are counterfeit silver, 1 ounce silver coins out there. So he's got the machine, but other places are doing it. You got to get it into your mindset. Things are going to be different. You're not going to be able to reach into your pocket and pull out a credit card because no one's going to accept that. You're not going to be able to write a check. Once it goes to central bank digital currency, all of that is wiped away and everything goes full digital. You're going to have a cell phone to make that work. And if the cell phones go down, you're history. You're not going to be able to do anything. Those of us that are smart enough to put away a certain portion of our cash into constitutional silver or in other precious metals or in other things to trade with. I have 4 precious metals I collect: gold, silver, brass, and lead, okay? Ammunition is the coin of the realm. Everybody will want ammunition. So that's not going to be a problem. You can trade with it. You can use it just like money. So anyway, constitutional silver, dimes, quarters, halves. Right now, the last price I paid, a dime was about $2 each. A quarter is about $5, and halves, we've paid anywhere between $10 and $11. So that gives you an idea. When you lay a dime up on the counter, the guy that knows what he's doing, that takes a constitutional silver, knows that's not 10 cents. Okay? It'll never go to zero because it's real metal, but that is pretty much the way things are working right now. If you're going to buy silver rounds, which are, and this gets a little complicated, I don't want to get into a lot of that, but there's a difference between, for example, an American Silver Eagle, which is $1, that is considered a coin, as opposed to a silver round, which is just 1 ounce of silver. It is not dollar-based. On the U.S. Silver Eagle, it says $1 US. Well, obviously a Silver Eagle right now, if you buy in bulk, but even at the low end, you're going to pay about $27, $28 an ounce with the premium. So we recommend also having silver rounds, ½ ounce and 1 ounce. The premiums are a little bit less than you would pay for Silver Eagles. So if you're just stacking weight, those of us that are stackers, sometimes we get away from it. I used to be an Eagle snob. I don't do that anymore. I'm getting more into the silver rounds just so I have something set aside that's preserving what I have. So the whole idea is it is a tangible asset. It is very valuable. It is easily resellable. And we have a system going on our website right now. If you take your gold and silver to a local coin store, we call an LCS, the local coin store or coin shop, they're going to offer you less than what you had paid for that, unless you bought it years ago at half the price, which a lot of us did. But currently, if you buy something now and you walk out the door and you come back the next day and say, I want to sell it back to you, he's going to offer you sometimes a little more than spot price. Sometimes it might be at spot. So you're going to lose a little bit on the premium. So I created a system in the Yavapai County Preparedness Team website, and we call it Jim's Heavy Metals. I'm a heavy metal junkie, have been since I was a kid. So I call it Jim's Heavy Metals. And the idea is, if let's say you have 10 silver eagles you want to sell to one of our members, they go there and look and see what's available. And the idea is that you can sell it at fair market value. If I'm in the market to buy, I'm going to pay fair market value anyways if I go to SD Bullion or JM Bullion or any of the other places, Kitco, to buy my silver. And I don't buy online. I buy strictly by the local coin shops. So I got a real good supplier that takes good care of me. And if I wanted to sell it to him, I'm going to lose a little bit. But anybody that goes to him and says, I want to buy a certain product, it's going to be at that current fair market value, which the metals markets are crazy. It changes by the minute, literally. So you wait 5 minutes and call them back, that price could change. But basically, if you want it and someone's willing to pay anyway, why not do it amongst our friends? You can, if they're buddies of yours, you can offer a little bit less on the premium, but you're not going to take it in the shorts by selling it back to a dealer. So that's one of the systems we came up with. Everybody I've talked to about it said, yeah, that's a good idea, because that way you save a little bit more. And that's while the dollar is still good, or if you're trading for services and somebody says, well, current market value on an eagle, let's just say it's $30. So, and you got $90 worth of work on this car, okay? Give them 3 silver eagles, you're good. Fair market value, fair trade, okay? Some stores for trading for goods are saying, well, we're gonna offer you spot. So you're gonna lose a little bit. I would rather go and sell it to someone I know, get the cash, and then go give the cash to the guy while that's still working. So all of this is fluid. Guys, we're doing everything we possibly can. We're coming up with every option. So if you have any questions, contact us, ycpt.org. Email us at the email on the screen, ycoathkeepers@gmail.com. You can call the phone number on the screen if you have any questions and get a hold of me or Janet, and we'll do the best we can to get you moving. All right, guys, good luck. God bless America. God bless us all.